Well, just like Frank Sinatra said, we did it our way. Jose Altuve, Carlos Correa, and one Jason Alexander take on the Yankees and walk out of the Bronx with the series win.
Jainel Diaz, this is Locked On Astros.
Hello and welcome to Locked On Astros, your daily Astros podcast. Here are your hosts, Eric the Man Huysman and Brett H-Town Wheelhouse Chancey.
We are Locked On Houston Astros, and we hope that you join us for a daily Locked On Astros podcast. My name is Eric Huysman. He is Brett Chancey, and we have over 18 years of combined podcasting experience, and we hope that you make us part of your daily routine, whether it's the trade deadline, whether it's playoffs, whether it's the offseason. Eric and Brett are always here for you to talk Astros baseball. And I know it's a little bit frustrating right now because the Mariners keep on winning, but all the Astros can do is win series, and that's what they did. But guys, thank you for everybody for being everydayers, people that listens to the podcast every day. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Full football season is right around the corner. Visit FanDuel app today and start planning your future bets now. So, Brett, I know there's another big series against the Red Sox, but for right now, that Yankee series, it felt like a playoff atmosphere. You had everybody booing Jose Altuve, and how does he always respond? Like he does, like a boss. He just goes out there, crushes a home run, and basically the Astros had, I would say they were in pretty much every game this series. I know that one on Saturday that got away from them, but they played pretty good baseball. Jason Alexander, once this rotation gets healthy, he's put a stamp on it. And maybe this guy should go ahead, stay in the rotation. We'll go and talk about that because Christian Javier is going to come back to pitch for the Astros in the big homecoming game. And when I say homecoming game, it's going to be not only Carlos Correa coming back home, but Alex Bregman as well. And then we'll go ahead and talk about, I've got the wrong one up there. We'll go ahead and talk about the Red Sox series, but there's so much for us to talk about this on this edition of the Locked On Astros podcast. But Brett, today's game, of course, as like Friday's game, the Yankees fans booing Jose Altuve. What does he do? His first at bat hits the home run.
Yeah, Jose Altuve is not fazed by what people think of him, what people say about him, whether they're chanting the F Altuve or booing him. He feeds off of it. And the way I know he feeds off of it is because he absolutely says he doesn't feed off of it. When they ask him about it from time to time, he's like, oh, they're just here cheering for their team. Like he plays it off so well, a good poker player never shows his hand. A good magician never gives you like how he actually makes it. And I know there's a lot of like millionaires giving millionaire tips, but you think that millionaire that you paid that $20 to really gave you all his tips for $20? I highly doubt that. One thing Jose Altuve doesn't do is he doesn't let you know that what you're doing has an effect on him either way. He goes out there and he plays. He plays the baseball game the right way. And it's such a great thing to have Carlos Correa next to him. When you look at this series today, 3 runs, 2 hits, 2 walks, Eric. I mean, this is Jose Altuve who doesn't take a lot of pitches. He got 2 walks today on top of the home run. And when you look at what he's done over the last 7 games, he's batting .379. Eric, over the last 30 days, Jose Altuve has 8 home runs, batting .357, has a slugging percentage of .643, and has 24 RBI, has 14 walks. He does have 18 strikeouts, but all his numbers across the board for the last 30 days are great. And they're even better right now the last 7 games. I think having Carlos Correa back in the lineup is a huge boost, not just mentally, but knowing that you got like your guy is back. And it's so wonderful to see them doing that today. And you hate that they lost that game Saturday, but that game was very winnable. You could have walked out of New York with the sweep, which would have been nice. But here you are winning 2 of 3. And like we'll talk a little bit later, the homecoming Monday is going to be insane.
Yeah, I know the Astros won 7-1, but they finished the road trip 4-5. Jason Alexander, we'll talk about him in a little bit, but the Astros had 12 hits, including home runs by Altuve, Carlos Correa. So it's like these guys both have the brother energy. I know that I have this shirt that says Hermanos, and it has Correa and Altuve from back when they first played with the Houston Astros. But it's definitely a different Correa probably discovered something before he was traded back to the Astros, but coming back playing with organization that he's familiar with, I'm pretty sure that does help with his confidence. And you could see a whole different guy out there. And that home run that he did today, it was epic. It was one of those that just kind of shut the Yankee Stadium up. I know that that Aaron Boone already got thrown out earlier in the game for strike calls. I know that, granted, Jason Alexander was getting some low pitches called in that game. But also, Brett, I don't know if you saw this, but Yankees fans are actually wearing brown paper bags that say that Aaron Boone is a bum and they need to fire him. But basically, the Yankees should be this big juggernaut of a team. Heck, they upgraded their entire bullpen, and their bullpen is still not great.
Devin Williams.
Yeah.
Devin Williams. He's
what, 5th, 6th inning type of guy?
He's been terrible. This is a lockdown closer who was going to bring all his stuff from Milwaukee to New York. And we've seen it before. Not every player can handle the pressure of that. I mean, the Yankees they're probably one of the worst top teams in Major League Baseball. I mean, they have 62 wins, but they're playing like they only have 50 wins. I mean, they are sliding away. They are a half game from being out of the wild card race. And, my preseason prediction, my hot take, Eric, was that the Yankees would miss the playoffs. And you know what I would love even more than that is if both the Yankees and the Rangers missed the playoffs. That would make me so happy. But, as the Astros are winning, you mentioned this at the top, the Mariners are winning. Now, the Mariners have won 7 in a row. They're on a little heater, but they'll cool off at some point. The Astros, though, just got to take care of business, and we'll talk about that later.
I'm not gonna talk too much shade about the Yankees right now. They are 3-7 in their last 10 games. The Astros are only 5-5 in their last 10 games.
Well,
they've been struggling a little bit as well. But the Yankees are in a different situation. They are 62-56. The Astros are 66-52 in first place in the AL West. By that half game, like you mentioned earlier, the Mariners are 9-1 in their last 10 games. So it's not just the 7-game winning streak, but they also have the additional 2 wins. So the Mariners got hot at the right time. It seems like after the trade deadline, once they added the extra bats, that's when the offense started taking off. The pitching was already starting to round into form. So did the Astros do enough? It seems like recently the offense is starting to pick up a little bit, even though they fell a little bit short in game 2. I mean, you can't, with 1 out, Brett, you can't keep on stranding guys, the bases loaded, did with, it was Trammell, and I forgot who the other, it was Diaz, I believe. With bases loaded. You can't keep on doing that and expect to win a lot of games.
No, right. And that is something that they absolutely have to fix, because you're right, with bases loaded and you got 2 guys on, or you got 2 guys up at the plate. And you look, why would you put Taylor Trammell in that? Well, number one, he was in that situation himself, but number 2, the night before, he crushed a ball. He crushed a home run late in the game. So he is there. And that's why I say the name on the back of the jersey isn't as important if they are producing. If they're producing, I don't care who gets the credit. I don't care who gets the hit. I just need someone to get that hit. And the runners in scoring position thing is definitely something. But Eric, I will tell you this. the Astros aren't as far down as you think with leaving runners in scoring position per game. They're actually 13th. Okay. They're not the worst, but they're not the best either. And so it's a little interesting. The team that leaves the most runners on base in scoring position are the Yankees at 3.77 runners.
I'm not surprised about that. But guys, thank you for making Locked On Astros podcast your first listen every day. We're going to continue this conversation. Next, we'll go ahead and talk about, first of all, Carlos Correa. That was not the motion when he hit the home run that everybody thought it was. But we're going to talk about Mr. Jason Alexander, what he did today, and what he continues to do. Thank you for making Locked On Astros podcast your first listen every day.
All right, everybody, thank you for tuning in to Locked On Astros. You may see this. I've got this Game Day Hue glove, and I use this like nobody's business. I love this glove. I love repping the Astros colors when I'm out there on the course. You see Eric is sporting the clean orange and white hat. You don't need all the big logos or the team names across your hat to show your true fandom. It's just smart, versatile style that works on game day, on the course, or anywhere in between. If you love rocking that hat, you love grabbing one of these awesome gloves, I suggest you go to Game Day Hue today, because right now you can get 15% off with your code MLB15 at GameDayHue.com. That's GameDayHue.com. The code even stacks on bundle deals. So now's the time to load up. Let's let your colors talk, because colors speak louder than words. That's GameDayHue.com, code MLB15.
Hey guys, thank you for making Locked On Astros podcast your first listen every day. Whether it's on YouTube, go ahead and make us first listen. Go ahead and subscribe to us. Go make us first listen. Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcasts, go and check us out. So JP France, we don't need to talk about JP France, but somebody did mention that I have a JP France mustache going. Well, I'm actually going into a slightly different industry where I need to do a respiratory fit test. And so unfortunately, I can't have the beard anymore, but what I can have is a mustache. And if I shave this, it's going to look a little bit funny. I'll look like I'm 20 years younger. So I'm going to go ahead and keep the mustache for now. So if you're wondering what's with the new look, that's what I'm going with.
So yeah, Eric, I noticed now that you did most recently, I noticed the mustache was very pronounced, and I was watching it, and then I got distracted. I was like, wait, hold on. Is that a mustache? Like, this is hardcore. Like, this dude. All right. Okay. Hey, you know what? I like it. Great look for you. You know what also is a great look is Jason Alexander. Jason Alexander, like you mentioned at the top of the show, Eric, I was thinking about this today. Why can't he be someone that we put into a number 3 or number 4 spot, right? I mean, why can't we do that with Jason Alexander in a playoff scenario? I'm serious. This guy's that good. If you go into the Bronx and you're throwing a no-hitter going into the 6th inning, I mean, that's huge.
Yeah. And like a lot of people didn't know who this guy was to start the season, but the last game he pitched, everybody was like, this is the best start of his career. And now today, this was even his best of best start of his career. But this is facing a Bronx Bomber lineup. And I know in the thumbnail, I kind of teased it and I said the Stros Bombers, but the Yankees, they do have a powerful lineup. But Jason Alexander went out there today. He wasn't really sharp in the first inning. He did retire the side, but he got some benefits of the calls early in the game. But he threw a lot of pitches in the first inning. But 6 innings overall, only 1 hit allowed. I believe the first hit was allowed in like the 6th inning or 5th inning, but it was late in his start. He did allow the 3 walks, 3 strikeouts, but his ERA is all the way down to 5.02. Most of the bad, I guess the runs have been scored against him were his appearances out of the bullpen. So what Jason Alexander is doing with his last 2 starts is he's putting a stamp in the rotation and say, hey, I know Christian Javier is coming back. I know that Lance McCullers at some point is coming back. I know Luis Garcia is coming back at some point. I know that JP France is coming back at some point. But with my changeup, with what I could do to lefties, what I could do to righties, what he can do, if he can do this to the Yankees right now, what can he do to the Yankees or a team with similar hitters in the playoffs? I'm not saying he's going to be your game 3 type guy, but if this is a game 4, game 5 type guy in the playoffs, I wouldn't mind it, but hopefully we don't have to rely on somebody like this.
Well, I mean, but then again, if he's pitching like this, why would you want to? I mean, I have a lot more faith in this guy than I do Lance McCullers Jr. right now.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, we have no clue what JP France is going to do once he gets here. Luis Garcia either. They look good. The peripherals look good. Christian Javier probably goes 4 innings tomorrow night. I wouldn't anticipate him going longer. Hopefully he has some efficient innings. But right now, all I need Jason Alexander to do, and he's probably not even thinking about the playoffs like we are or talking about it. But if he just continues to go out and he's consistent and he's dominant the way that he has been, then the Astros are forced into a situation where they have to decide, okay, who do we go with? And I really hope that they don't pick a veteran that's kind of struggling or has potential to do great because they've done great in the past in the playoffs. I hope they go with the hot hand here. And so he's basically earning his keep, Eric. And I know one way or another, Jason Alexander will be on a roster come playoff time.
I know that if you've watched the movie Major League, where I think it was, I think they had something like a pink slip. So if you see pink slip in your roster, in your locker, that means that you've either been released or optioned down to AAA or something like that. And Jason Alexander, he's probably been through this a lot where he's like, well, even though I pitch really well, nothing's guaranteed. Nothing's guaranteed for tomorrow. I don't know if I'm going to be on the team tomorrow. Christian Javier is going to be activated tomorrow. For those of y'all that haven't already heard, he's going to be starting against the Red Sox at Minute Park or Dyken Park. We'll talk about that a little bit more later about the homecoming, but they need to open up a roster spot. I don't think that they'll be optioning down Jason Alexander because he is out of options, but this is a guy that is 32 years old. He is not a rookie. He's got a lot of experience, but he is cherishing this. He is, that he loved going up there to the Bronx and just pitching his heart out. Somebody asked earlier, who's better, Brandon Walters or Jason Alexander? I think they're both great. I think that if Walters was healthy, I think that they would be a great addition to the rotation. Who knows what's going to happen with Walter, but right now you got what you got and you were about to get healthy. And I think Jason Alexander has put a mark, not a permanent marker, Brett, but maybe at least ink right now in the rotation.
Well, like I said, it only makes sense, but all he has to do is just continue to do what he's doing. Look, this guy's career started in 2017. But that was all in the minor leagues. He made a short stint with the Milwaukee Brewers. He had 18 games, 11 games started. He was 2-3. He only had 46 strikeouts. But if you look at what he's doing right now and in the innings he's pitched, his whip is a tad bit high and he doesn't have the big strikeout numbers. But what he does is he does dominate. He does get outs. And so as long as he's reliable, the thing I love about guys that come up late in their late 20s, like this guy, like 28, is they're so much more cerebral when they pitch. Kind of like Woody Williams. And I'm not saying he's as great as Woody Williams was in his career, but Woody Williams spent 7 or 8 years in the minors. And then when he came up, he was really good for the Blue Jays, for the Astros. He had a solid career for the Cardinals. And so, yeah, he was. No, there's no like, no,
Astros, he was okay.
Well, but I'm just saying.
I get your point. Yeah.
Yeah. His career was solid. And a lot of those guys just, they marinate, and some of them age like fine wine. They just get better with time. And so
Yes.
but go ahead.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and continue this conversation. And I think Jason Alexander has gone out there and pitched his heart out. But we're going to talk about this homecoming because it's not just Carlos Correa coming home, but Alex Bregman is going to get a welcome back video, and the Astros are, because he's been a big part of why the Astros have 2 World Series. So, guys, thank you for making Locked On Astros podcast your first listen every day.
This episode is brought to you by FanDuel, and August 26th is officially FanDuel Futures Day, a brand new holiday for football fans who live for bold predictions and preseason hunches. For just 24 hours, FanDuel is giving you deals on NFL season predictions. So whether you're calling up your MVP, eyeing a long shot division winner, or ready to crown your Super Bowl champ before week 1 even kicks off, this is your moment. Who is your pick for MVP? Is it Josh Allen? Is it a defensive player like TJ Watt? Who will you crown champion in August? Who's your pick for the Super Bowl? Are you going for a repeat champion or someone new, a dark horse, a parlay, a division winner? Visit FanDuel. Visit the FanDuel app today and start planning your future bets now, because Futures Day is one day and one day only. FanDuel, play your game.
Hey guys, thank you for making Locked On Astros podcast your first listen every day, whether it's on YouTube. Go ahead and subscribe to us. Go and make us first listen. Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast, go and check us out. So in this segment, we're going to go and talk about the homecoming. I know Carlos Correa has played really well with the Houston Astros. He continues to just hit unlike what they saw in Minnesota. And the Twins are like, why can we get a refund for the Carlos Correa we got back there? But Carlos Correa, after he hit that home run today, a lot of people are like, did he just mimic or mock Altuve saying, don't take his shirt off? Because he basically, his home run, he was like, he pointed to this and kind of did this and then did this and pointed up there. But apparently he was saying that it's not me. This is God that's made this possible. And so, but a lot of people are taking it like that's what happened. But
yeah,
that would be kind of awesome though, for him to just have that type of gusto back with him in his second go around with the Houston Astros, just kind of in New York City after just hitting a big home run to mock what everybody thought Jose Altuve was trying to hide back then.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think sometimes people are looking for something to be mad at. I mean, I watched it. I literally, the first thing I thought was, it's not me, it's God. That's literally what he did. And, you know, we live in a day where people misinterpret, you know, hand signals all the time. So it's just, it's like, no, like, look at if you look at his wife's latest Instagram post where they were her and their 2 sons are like back touching down in Houston. They're getting off their, I guess, their private jet. You know, it talks about God first, like, you know, their boys are dressing like God first stuff. And, you know, he's a man of faith. I believe him and his faith is melded a lot alongside with Lance McCullers Jr. So I know that they have a very strong faith, both of them. So yeah, he was clearly saying it's not about me, it's about him. And, you know, Carlos Correa, I love how he sounds now. He sounds more mature. He sounds grown up. He doesn't sound, I mean, you know, when he left, he was like, hey, you know, if you want Versace or Prada or whatever you want to pay, you know, you're going to pay me. And now he just sounds like a more mature guy. You know, he sounds like, you know, he's ready to have fun again in Houston. And like I've been saying all this last week, Eric, it's like he never left. He absolutely looks 100% the part. And I still think it's an alternate universe where he was a Minnesota Twin, because it still doesn't seem right, even right now, thinking back on it.
Yeah, I know. It felt weird that he was gone, just because he just has naturally come back in, not just as a hitter with the Astros. He's batting 406. This is not updated, but before today's game, he was batting 406. I know he had at least 2 to 3 hits today, but with a 1049 OPS with the 2 home runs. But he's just been crushing the ball in his 9 games with the Houston Astros. But overall, he's just been a leader. He's been going out there just like he's always been doing, going to try to calm down Framber Valdez, whoever the pitcher is on the mound, just going out there and just being that leader. And that's what the Astros, I think, have missed since Alex Bregman has been gone. And speaking of Alex Bregman, he is coming back home, not necessarily play for the Astros, but to play against the Astros. And it sucks to have these tribute videos for especially some of these guys like Kyle Tucker and now Alex Bregman. But I saw a lot of people saying, well, I'm not afraid of the Houston Astros like we used to be, just because they don't have the big names like Kyle Tucker and Alex Bregman anymore. But I think this offense, once everybody gets healthy, Alvarez and everybody's contributing, it can be as dynamic, but that is 2 big bats that you're missing.
Well, yeah, of course it is. I mean, but we're not, I mean, we can't think like that anymore.
I know.
They're gone. I mean,
right.
Alvarez, yeah, we can talk about that. Jake Myers, who is having a career year, yeah, we can talk about that. But with the addition of Correa, we need guys like Cam Smith to step it up more. We need guys like Yanner Diaz to be more consistent. Christian Walker in this lineup, when he hits, he's great. And so at the end of the day, to me, the Astros team are one of the more dangerous teams because you've got a couple different factors playing against the Astros. Number one, you got a lot of people expecting them not to do anything. You still have people saying, oh, their time is up, the run or the ride is over with. But also, you don't know what this team's going to look like once they're at full strength. I mean, heck, if we get Yordan back the last 25 games and going into the playoffs, he gets hot, that's going to suck for the other teams. And with him and Jesus Sanchez in there, 2 very formidable opponents from the left side of the plate, you're going to absolutely love seeing that lineup. But they have got to score these runners. Seattle's not letting up. The Rangers may at some point catch fire, but the Mariners look like they're making a legit shot, and they're probably one of the favorites in a lot of people's minds to go to the World Series because their pitching staff, and like you mentioned, their offense has picked it up.
Yeah, their team has been one that I've been worried about all year. Even as they struggled, I've always been worried because once that pitching staff got hot and figured things out, I was like, no, this team is something to worry about. But you got the Red Sox coming into town. Then you have the Orioles. The Orioles are a team in transition. You have the Rockies, a team in transition. The Angels are a team that don't know what they want to do. Then you face the Yankees again, and then the Rangers, the Mariners to close out the season. So those are the teams that you face for the remainder of the season. So of those teams, you got 3 of them that are really out of it, and the other teams are in it. So the Astros have to really play really good baseball, and especially if it comes down to the wire, and you got to play really good at Daikin Park at the end against the Mariners, because that could be for the AL West, and that could be for the let's just say the bye or whatever it takes to get into that 1 or 2 seed. So that series at the end of the season could be a very important thing.
Yeah. So, hey, one of the cool things, and I don't want to miss this before we leave the show. Jose Altuve, he hit his 250th home run. And if he gets one more double, he will have 450 doubles. And that means that he will become the 11th player in MLB history with 250 home runs, 300 stolen bases, and 450 doubles. Oh, and by the way, Carlos Correa is 4 home runs away from 200 home runs. So you've got some milestones that they're nearing, both players.
I just realized I was looking at only the home games, but so those are teams that we're going to be facing at home, but still you're going to be going on some road games too. But the Astros just got to play better baseball, more consistent baseball, and we've seen them do better. And they're in a rut right now, 4-5 on this road trip. Before the All-Star break, they were before the trade deadline, they were kind of sputtering a little bit. That's why the Astros had to make these trades. But once you get some of these starting pitchers back and they get comfortable. Spencer Arrighetti, I don't think he's ready yet. He pitched for Yankees. The first game he pitched back, he was terrible, but he actually pitched pretty well against the Astros on Saturday. So you got to give some of these guys a couple games before you can say, oh, they suck. And like a lot of people are saying Spencer Arrighetti isn't ready. I think he's ready. It's just going to take him a little bit of time to get adjusted back to the big league action.
Well, I'm excited to see Altuve go after these milestones, to get that 250th double. 450th double. I'm excited to see what Carlos Correa can do in getting 4 more home runs. I'd love for him to get it done the next week or two. So the Houston Astros have won 4 of their last 6 games. Ben says it down there, and they are, you go up to New York and you beat the Yankees. I know they've been on a slide, but this is the Bronx. This is a road game, and this was a game you had to have to keep pace in front of the Mariners by half a game. I am not super worried about the Astros schedule this month. As long as they get the job done, they stay in front, I think all will end well for the Houston Astros. They want to win the division, and a lot of people think that's a short-sighted plan, but that's really key right now. And I don't care if that's their plan, because that's what you need to do. You do need to try to you're still 2 or 3 games outside of where Toronto is. And if you can keep winning and Toronto can slow down a little bit, you can catch them. You get that first seed. I would love the Astros to get that number 1 seed and have home field advantage.
Yeah, and the Tigers are coming up as well, so you can gain some grounds there. But the Astros, if they continue getting hitting from the lineup like they are, and Christian Walker continues to contribute like he did today with the 2 doubles, and he had a home run in this series, the Astros are going to be fine, especially once you get Alvarez back at some point. This offense is not going to be an issue for too much longer. So I think it's going to get better. It's just the pitching has got to get healthy, because this bullpen is overtaxed and it's been overused. And I think that once everybody gets healthy and the rotation gets a little bit more stable, I think the bullpen will be able to get a chance to reset. And I think we're going to see much better results, more consistent results. But Brett, I think that's all we got. We'll go ahead and talk more about this later, but I'm excited about the homecoming game and the Red Sox series, and then everything else that comes up. But guys, thank you for making the Locked On Astros podcast your first listen every day, whether it's on YouTube. Go ahead and subscribe to us. Go and make us first listen Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcasts. Go and check us out.
Go Stros.